I watched the newest episode of My Strange Addiction because there's this thing called misery, and well,
I've gone pro.
So this is episode 6 of season 7. We have somebody that loves to eat sponge furniture, a woman that likes to eat her toenails, and another woman that likes to sunbathe her butthole. We're just getting right into it because I think it's not as bad as the first one. So it was still pretty bad. We started this episode out with who we find out is a man named Ron. He is 35 years old. He's from California, and he's putzing around. He's walking around in a furniture store, hanging out, and he is looking at all the pillows they have, all the options, and he starts to sniff these pillows in the store. Like 12-year-olds used to sniff markers in middle school, smelling them, he's touching them. He asks an employee, hey, do you guys have any of that yellow stuff?
That spongy stuff?
This employee is like, I think we have some in the back, let me go check. And while this employee walks away and he's got in his hands one of the samples, he tears a little piece off of the sample and just eats it and slips it right back in the sample slot. And you know this sample has probably been touched by everybody and their mother that visits this store. Yeah, Ron goes on to explain that it feels like a drug to him, eating sponge from furniture. He just loves it. It's something that, you know, he's loved this since he was a kid. And he says that he doesn't like the kind of sponge that's in old couches that have been sat on because this is a man of refined taste. He only likes his sponge clean. This poor employee is like, I've been doing this job a long time and I've
never seen anything like this.
Yeah, not surprising. Why would you? Why would you see somebody eating your product if you're working in a furniture store? And on display, you know how at like a mattress store, they have like the the little box of like a fake mattress, like a sample size. Ron is like, please bro, please let me buy this off you, please. And this poor employee is like, I can't sell you the sample. That's my only sample I have. You cannot have it. He's like, please work with me. Let me buy it.
Bro, please.
I mean, this worker is being very accommodating and he doesn't have to. He really does not have to. Even the employee's like, you know, there's a lot of chemicals used in this kind of stuff. So it's kind of weird that this guy is eating it because apparently formaldehyde, flame retardants used in like furniture making. I think it's in like clothing too. Like there's a ton of chemicals in this stuff that you really shouldn't be ingesting, especially, you know, like it's not food, you know, like we find out Ron is addicted to yellow foam because when he was a child, his grandparents gave him a stuffed teddy bear that was full of yellow foam that he ended up eating out of the bear. He just unzipped it, saw what it was filled with, just tried it, and then he cannibalized the entire teddy bear. He's at home now with a giant mattress topper of yellow foam and he's just taking bites out of it like it's an afternoon snack, like it's just an apple and some peanut butter at home. He thinks he's eaten the equivalent to about 2 couches in his lifetime. That's not funny. It's like, what is it you ingest every year? A credit card's worth of plastic. This man has eaten the equivalent of 2 couches over his entire life. This has caused him health issues. He's had blockages in his intestines that they've had to cut open, I think he said, and take out. But at home, he is going and making a sponge gumbo. It looks delicious. I wonder what delicacy this is. Like, it looks great, guys. To prevent more blockages, he just spoons some powder in his mouth. It looks like Metamucil, I think, and just chugs some water, and that's how he deals with any issues that might come up. He's like, if I don't get sponge for a day or 2, I get angry. This is not good. This is like, I know if I don't get caffeine in a day, I get pretty mean. Not mean, but like I get like a headache. I don't feel good. It sounds like he's got something like that going on, but not with caffeine, with sponge from the couch. So next up, we go to another area of California to meet a woman. We're meeting this woman. She's walking outside her house with her guitar, and by the way she's dressed, I'm like, this is gonna be some bullshit. We meet Tara. She's 32 years old from California, and she says she's a ritual priestess and a musician, and she is addicting to sunning her perineum. I thought it was pronounced perineum this whole time. It's the practice of allowing sunlight to reach the area between your genitals and your anus in medical terms. So she goes outside in her fun sundress and hat and a guitar, and she lays down playing guitar, and her legs are just towards the sky, spread open to get that sunlight, to get that fresh vitamin D where the sun usually doesn't shine. She says it gives her a divine energy and provides vitamin D.
Take a supplement.
I don't want to get people in my comments section be like,
no, this is like really what everyone should be doing.
Stop. I don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry. I don't want to hear it. Don't comment that. I don't want to hear it. We meet Gary, her partner of about a year. He says he discovered that she likes to sun about a month into the relationship, and he's stuck around the whole time, and he's like, it's a lot. She asks him all the time if he wants to join in, and he's always like, no, I'm good. And now moving on to West Virginia, we meet another woman named Janet at the gym. She's working out. She's on the treadmill, doing her thing at the gym. And after she gets off the treadmill, she's like, God, that was a really good workout. And I'm like, yeah, like she got some sweat in, looks great. She, middle of the gym, next to the lockers, takes off her shoes and socks, which let's not do that in the middle of the gym. It didn't look like a Planet Fitness, but imagine walking in Planet Fitness and someone next to the treadmill is just bare feet out. So yeah, she takes off her shoes, takes off her socks. She's like, oh man, my feet are so sweaty. And she's rubbing her feet. And then all of a sudden she just bends over to her toes and just starts chewing them. And there's a lot of sounds. There's a lot of this clicking sound you can hear that they really zoom in on. She is addicted to eating toenails, addicted to eating nails. I'm sick. That's bad. I pick my nails. I do it the right way, and I pick mine. I don't chew my toenails off.
And she's like, man, these taste so good. They're so salty.
This is the equivalent of like a bag of Lay's salt and vinegar chips to her or something, I guess. She says she eats about 60 nail clippings a week. So about 2 pounds since her addiction began is what they assume she's eaten. 2 pounds of toenails. Wow. Now we're over at her house and she's explaining how it's always helped with her anxiety. I mean, yeah, I pick my nails for anxiety, but I don't eat toenails. It's not clicking to me. Like, you could just pick your nails. Like, that's what a lot of people do, but you don't have to eat them. She collects them. Like, she opens up this whole beauty box where she's just got her little jar of nails. Isn't that an album by somebody? I don't know. And then she's also got little gummies, like candies, that she'll take her little gummy bear and then she takes some toenails, sticks them in like a little voodoo doll, and then just eats them. A little snack.
Yummy.
It's her little hors d'oeuvre treat, before dinner. Some gummy bears and nails. She mentions that she was born in Ghana, and then when she flew over to the US as a child, like pretty much alone, they just put her on a plane. She chewed on her nails to help with her stress, which is understandable. Like, anybody, like, you're a kid, you're going alone, that makes sense. And then it's kind of just something she's continued on ever since then now, to the point where she eats her nails and eats other people's nails. Yeah, so apparently we find out she also clips not only her nails, but her daughter's nails. Her 9-year-old daughter, she will clip her toenails too and eat them as well. And she's like, my daughter's got the saltiest nails in the world. Get this woman like an oyster. I don't know. Get her a bag of salt and vinegar chips. Something else, dude. There's got to be something else this woman can eat besides her 9-year-old daughter's salty toenails. I'm literally sick. That's so bad. She has another daughter, her elder daughter, that won't let her eat her toenails anymore. Obviously, she's like, I'm not letting my mom do that anymore. That's weird. And she also has a friend named Kayla who gets her nails done a lot. She'll go to the salon, and she asks her friend Kayla to save her clippings. She doesn't tell her why, though. She's just like, hey,
when you go to the nail salon, save your nails for me.
And this poor woman's probably thinking maybe she does like a weird art project, maybe something like you'd see at like MoMA in New York. That's what I would assume. If my friend was like, hey, save your nail clippings for me, but her best friend doesn't know that she's eating her toenails. So she's about to find out. But first we go back to Ron in California. Oh my God. In his kitchen, you know how the like container store sells like this really nice plastic containers of like different sizes with like the white lids, like the push top lids? This man has decanted his yellow sponge into these different jars. He even says, it's like a good wine. This man's got refined taste. He also has really nice teeth. And I'm like, is it the grit from the sponge that really cleans the teeth? What's up with that? He says he really likes to blend up his sponge too, to like, blend it up, make it a little more pasty so he can eat it with a spoon. Even the container that he blended the stuff in, like, you can tell he's been doing this a lot because that container is yellowed. He says he is hiding his addiction from everyone. You mean you're not? I wouldn't tell a soul. You would have to waterboard that information out of me to make me tell anybody. The only person that knows is his brother Demetrius, who FaceTimes him while he's eating his yellow paste. He's like, oh, you just caught me in the middle of making my concoction. And his brother Demetrius is like on the phone, like, we've talked about this before. Like, we've talked about this. Why are you doing this? We really need to get you to stop. And Ron equates it to having like alcoholism, like a drinking problem, which I believe. He's the only person on this episode that I believe is like the real deal. I think he's got a serious problem. Like the toenail lady, it's gross, yeah, but Ron seems to be the only one like, no, this is like an addiction, like an alcoholic, and he wants help. So I think I believe him. We get back over to Janet, our toenail lady. She's like, my nail supply is being depleted. I need to go forage for some more. But she's going to meet up with her friend Kayla, who's got a fresh supply for her. They're meeting up for drinks. They're at a bar. Kayla hands over this bag of nails for Janet. She's like, what are these for? What do you need these for? It's kind of weird. Like, why do I save these? Like, can you tell me what's going on? Janet, like, takes the bag from her. She's like, oh my God, you're going to make me cry. I can't believe you brought me more nails. And she finally tells her that, yeah, like,
I eat your nails.
her friend is obviously creeped out. Obviously, she's like, that's not normal. If my friend asks for my toenails to eat them, I don't know if we're gonna be friends anymore after that. I'm so sorry. That's really weird. And Janet opens this bag up of fresh nails Kayla just brought her and eats them in front of her. This girl is like, we are in public. What are you doing? Put that away. And she's like, why are you eating these? You got fresh veneers. I was wondering why her teeth look so good. I was like, dang. Do I need to start eating my nails? But she's like, she's got really nice teeth. And she's like, oh yeah, like I eat so many nails, I've chipped my veneers. Her veneers are chipped. And her friend is like, girl, you've got to stop. You've got to go. This is disgusting. Nails carry bacteria. Like, please don't do this. Janet's like, you should feel honored I eat your nails because I just don't eat everyone's nails. Like, yeah, Kayla, you should feel honored she's only eating your nails. Don't you know how special that is? And Kayla's like, I'm not giving you any more nails. The nail supply has been cut off. We're back to Ron in California. He's with his friend Anthony. They run like a little food stall catering business around LA. And he helps him out with catering sometimes when he needs it. They're like, you know, handing out food, making food. And Ron's like, let me, I gotta run in my car really fast. And Anthony's like, okay, but like be quick. We're like busy. Ron runs to the car, takes out a bag of yellow foam. This is like somebody sneaking in like crack and they don't want their friend to find out. This is wild to me. And he's like, I just gotta eat a little bit. After they finish up their catering, they go and grab like a drink. And he finally is like, I'm gonna tell Anthony, like, he's my friend. I'm gonna let him know. So he's like, hey, I have to talk to you about something. And he tells him, I have a big issue throughout my whole life. He pulls out the bag of yellow sponge and he's like, I have been addicted to eating sponge since I was a kid. And he starts to eat from the bag right in front of Anthony. And Anthony grabs the bag from him. He's like,
what are you doing?
And he's like looking at the bag and Ron's like, don't touch my foam. Like, don't touch it. It's a sanitary thing. It's a sanitary thing. He doesn't want his germs in there, I guess. And Anthony's even like, you don't eat sponge. You clean with sponge. You wash your dishes with sponge. Yeah, dude. He's eating he's keeping like Mr. Clean in business. But that's not the kind of sponge he eats. He's a man of refined taste. He likes his sponge from furniture, you know, better sourced sponge, you know, grass-fed sponge. He likes the good stuff. His friend Anthony's like, I'll support you, man, but like, you gotta go see somebody. Even Ron agrees he wants to go start seeing a therapist over this because this is like kind of ruining his life. You know, he has to hide it from so many people. It's pretty bad. And he's willing to go see an addiction therapist over this. That's when I believe like this man's actually got an issue where all these other people are just doing dumb shit. Oh, we go back to Tara, the sunning lady. They're outside, they're hanging out. Gary, her boyfriend, is in like a tub, like, I guess like a hot tub. And she is, you know, doing her thing, sunning her
butthole.
And they explained that they met at a music festival at a twerking workshop. You cannot make this stuff up. This is like, I bet they paid good money for that workshop too. This is wild. Watch a YouTube video. I don't know. We really don't get many clips of this woman, Tara, which, yeah, because there's really not much to it. So she's sunning outside and they have like a tiny trailer house kind of situation parked, like it's in the middle of nowhere, but it is parked next to a road. And she's like, I'm gonna go up on the roof and do some more sunning. And she goes up on this roof and it's like there's cars driving by and she's just spread eagle facing the road. How are you not getting she's fully nude up on the roof? Like, how are you not getting a indecent exposure charge for that, girl? And she's even said, oh, like I've had a really unwanted experience once when I was sunning and someone snapped a photo of me. So she's now more careful about where she does it. But I'm like, you're right next to the road doing this. Why are you doing it next to like the road where everybody can see you? She gets off the roof, goes in the hot tub with Gary, her boyfriend. They got a lovely charcuterie board with them too. It's being exposed to her sunning. And her boyfriend, he's like, have you ever gotten like a sunburn? Because you're in the sun a lot. And she's like, no, like I've only ever gotten sunburn on my shoulders. Thank God. I don't want to imagine the pain of sunburn, like a sunburn in some areas. So that's pretty much it with her. Her boyfriend's like worried about her getting sunburned. And she's like, well, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep sunning. And that's it. She's happy. It makes her happy. Very quick wrap up for her. So we're back in California with Ron. Ron has finally decided he's going to go see a therapist over this, which is, I think, a good idea. He said he's been doing this since he was a child. He enjoys it a lot, but it's ruining his life. It's like an alcoholic sneaking swigs of like, I don't know, vodka at work. You can't, whip out a bag of yellow sponge at the office and just start eating it. At the potluck, what are you bringing to the potluck? You're gonna like make a casserole of sponge? He's like, it's so hard to quit. It's like smoking cigarettes. I'm like, dang, this sponge has a hold. It has a grip on this man. This therapist he's with is very calm about this whole thing. And Ron brings up about how it all started with a teddy bear. And wouldn't you know, the therapist has a teddy bear in his office and he hands it over to Ron, and Ron's like, where's the zipper on the bear? And he's like, oh, there is no zipper on this bear. Because the zipper that Ron had on the teddy bear he originally had, he unzipped it and ate it. And he's like, oh man, if I could just like cut this bear open. He's about ready to cannibalize this other teddy bear that the therapist gave him. He's like, I just want to see inside. Okay, calm down. Calm down, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're not chopping up bears anymore. The therapist is like, well, what do bears eat? Bears eat honey, and what do you know? The therapist also has honey sticks. And he's like, why don't you try these instead of eating foam? I don't know the correlation between honey and foam. I would have given him like popcorn. That makes more sense to me than a honey stick. Ron is like, I know, but you know what? I'm willing to try anything at this point. I need to stop doing this. And this is when Ron pulls out the foam. He brought foam to his therapy appointment and he gives it to his therapist and he's like, I would love if you would try it. Can you imagine being that therapist? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd eat it. I'm sorry. You want to break through, but it's like, I think I would be like, you know what? Let's put that away. I think I'm good. I'm not going to try it. Or if I'm gonna try it, I'll get my own. I'll get my own source. I'm not gonna try your bagged foam. But he eats a piece. This man eats a piece. This guy deserves a raise or something. He ate a piece of foam out of his pocket. And he's like, doesn't it taste good? This therapist is probably, he's got a poker face. He's not saying a word. He's like, okay. And Ron's like, I'm just happy that you tried that for me. Dude. But you know what? Good for Ron, because he does leave that bag at the therapist's office. He's like, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to stop eating it. And we find out that he is attempting to stop, and he is going to just start doing a thing where you chew it, not swallow it, and you just spit it out, which, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. That's a start. It's a good start, because that stuff, I don't think you can digest that at all. So I don't know what kind of havoc that has been wreaking on this man's body. So we get back to Janet, our toenail girl. She's got some cupcakes. They look really good. And she's like, I'm going to try to stop eating toenails finally, for my health. She calls her daughters downstairs. She lets them know the big news that she's going to stop eating her toenails, and they're all going to have a cupcake to celebrate. But obviously, you got to get that last hit in. You got to, everybody wants to have their last party or their last hurrah before they stop. So she's like, let me just get, instead of, sprinkles, jimmies, whatever you want to call them, instead of doing that on her cupcake, she just sprinkles her little little toenails all over the cupcakes. And she's like, gotta get my last hit in. Her poor daughters are like, what? They're like, Mom, what are you doing? They're disgusted, obviously. This is pretty gross. So we end the episode with Janet attempting to stop eating her toenails. Well, no, she's gonna still eat her own toenails. She's gonna continue to eat her toenails, but she's gonna stop eating everybody else's toenails. So we're making good progress. This is progress. So that was the end of that episode. Pretty disgusting. I don't think it was as bad as that first one though. I gagged a little bit with the toenails, but not as bad as the woman with the smoothies that she sucks through her nose. Never doing that. I'm never watching that again. If you guys liked this, if you want to see more random things, I kind of want to check out Becoming Amish, or like the show where normal people turn Amish. I might watch that and do a video. Let me know other TV shows you might want me to do, go over. I don't know. Let me know if you want more of this kind of stuff. Or yeah, but I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye.